Hello everybody, I'm Michael Mercy.
And I'm Matt Crandall.
And this week we are going to be reviewing Universal Soldier
Regeneration.
Regeneration.
AKA The Next Generation, AKA Universal Soldier 3 or 5, depending on your count, apparently. So take it away.
Yeah, the thing that makes this one special is that the stars of the original Universal Soldier in 1992, Jean-Claude Van Damme and Dolph Lundgren are both back.
So basically, the Universal Soldier program was still going on, and they shut it down for a bit, and they upgraded to this new generation of Universal Soldier. And a terrorist strikes this plot where they have taken an old nuclear reactor plant in Chernobyl, strapped it full of bombs, and kidnapped like the Prime Minister's children, and said that if you don't release all of these hardened criminals from jail, we're gonna just blow it up, kill the Prime Minister's kids, and cause this whole nuclear wasteland sort of thing. Although Chernobyl already is a nuclear wasteland. And so then they have to send in some of the Universal Soldiers to help neutralize the situation. But one of the new generation of Universal Soldier is working with the bad guys. He takes everybody out. So then, of course, there's only one person left to turn to, Van Damme.
JCVD.
Yeah. And somehow Dolph Lundgren gets popped into the mix just so that we can get the obligatory Lundgren-Van Damme face-off for nostalgia, which really ends up being the best part of the movie.
Yeah, the big factor of us watching this movie was nostalgia, which is weird because I didn't even really like the first Universal Soldier. I don't remember anything about it. Do you?
I remember it when I was 12. I used to watch it with my friends, and we thought it was pretty badass, and it had some good fighting and some good violence. And when you're 12, that's about all you're looking for in a movie. But now, all these years later, watching this, you need a bit more.
Yeah. Dolph Lundgren, if you're expecting a lot from him in this movie, you might be a little disappointed because his total screen time is about 10 minutes, I'd say.
Yeah.
But really, his parts are the best parts in the movie. Jean-Claude Van Damme, however, looks very tired. Looks like I don't know, maybe that might have been his performance, but it really looked like he didn't want to be there. Having seen JCVD and the things that he says and does in that movie, because that movie kind of walks the fine line between reality and fiction, I just constantly wondered, is he like, he looks like he doesn't want to be there. Is that, for real? Like, is he tired of doing these action movies? He looks tired, he's slow, and I just wasn't getting anything from him. On the other hand, Dolph Lundgren, though, awesome. In the few short scenes he was in, he was badass, oozing charisma. I got my nostalgia fix from the few Lundgren scenes that were in the movie.
Yeah, the Lundgren scenes are definitely the best. And the new guy, the new generation of Universal Soldier, is badass enough that, like, when he is just annihilating some people, like, and he goes to town on people by just pulverizing their faces in.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
The action is pretty good. And for a direct-to-video movie, the production value is extremely high. The action sequences are really well choreographed and staged, so you can actually, 90% of the time, tell what's happening, who's where, and what's going on. There are a few action scenes where we even looked at each other and said, "Who is that? What's happening?"
Yeah, someone's cousin or something.
Show up. But for the most part, for a direct-to-video movie, the action does work. The action delivers, but the story is terrible.
Yeah, if you rent this thing, you know exactly what you're going to get. It's straight to video. You're going to get something like, I don't know, like Time Cop or Universal Soldier 2 or 3. Like, you know what you're going to get. The action scenes are actually more impressive than a lot of direct-to-video movies we've seen. There is a little bit of attention to detail that I kind of, I appreciated throughout. But, all in all, it is what it is, right? The Lundgren and Van Damme fight, though, awesome. Amazing. Too bad it was, it could have been a couple minutes longer, but what we did get was really, really awesome. It was worth the wait.
Yeah, definitely worth the price of a rental just for that scene alone. So best part, worst part for you?
I'll say best part was Dolph Lundgren. There's only really 3 scenes in the movie. But you know, he's awesome, and that includes the JCVD fight scene. The guy is just, you know, he's got an awesome face now. He's much older now. He's got that sunken face, but he's still in great shape. He still throws some awesome kicks, and he's I think he's just gotten better as an actor. I think he's really comfortable with you know, with himself, and he really pulls off a cool old badass. Worst part is the score. It was awful. Yeah, there's a lot of times where the music, you know, the scene was kind of, I was on the fence about whether a scene was good or not, and then the score made it bad.
Yeah, the score was terrible. If you didn't know it was direct-to-video, hearing that music clued you in that this was a direct-to-video movie.
Yeah, so the score was garbage. Best part, worst part.
Best part is probably the action overall. I think the movie does look good. Peter Hyams, who is a big-time director and the father of the guy who directed this movie, shot it. He was the cinematographer. And, the movie looks nice, and it does look like it cost a bit more than the $14 million that they spent. So the action is a serviceable amount of action. So that delivered. So the best part for me was the action. Overall, blanket statement, just the action. Worst part is probably that this could have been any movie, and it just happened to drop Van Damme and Lundgren in it and slap Universal Soldier on the title.
Yeah, it's almost like they had this movie all ready to go, and somehow they got Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it was like, hey, you know what? Dolph isn't doing anything this week either, because Dolph's part was just, you don't see him until an hour into the movie, and then, 15 minutes later, he's gone. So, their screen time was Jean-Claude Van Damme, too. He's throughout the movie, but it feels like he only did a week's worth of work on the movie.
Right, it really feels like just some sort of military thriller that then somebody realized, hey, we can get Van Damme really cheap, we can get Lundgren really cheap, let's drop them in here and rebrand it Universal Soldier to try and recoup our money back. So overall, that really didn't work for me, and the stakes are never that high.
Yes.
One thing
the stakes
couldn't
are low.
stand throughout the movie was the stakes are so low because if this nuclear reactor goes off and these two kids buy it, you don't really care that much.
Exactly.
So it really
because they're
hurts.
the kids of some Russian politician.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they shot it in Russia or Poland or some cheap place to shoot it in the Middle Eastern Europe, and they just decided to set it in the same place they shot it at, and I'm sorry, but I don't care.
And when the stakes are low, they find a way to make them even lower by almost getting the kids out of danger. And there's a moment where the bomb isn't even an issue for a bit.
Yeah.
And the stakes just keep getting lower and lower and lower. So by the time we get towards the big finale, we just want to see the fighting. And you don't even care if this bomb goes off or not.
Yeah, exactly. We just want to see a fight by the end of it. And it doesn't matter if the bomb goes off. I don't care. Just beat some people up and shoot some people. Because that's what this movie is. Or it's supposed to be, at least.
So definitely, if you are a fan of Universal Soldier and Van Damme and Lundgren, check it out. It's definitely, you could spend 90 minutes doing something worse than this. But I definitely wouldn't recommend to run out and buy it.
No.
But if you're on a Sunday afternoon, you got nothing to do, check it out.
Yeah, it's just for Lundgren, I'd recommend it. He does a great job. Even if you're kind of, hey, I sort of liked Dolph Lundgren back in the day, you'll get a kick out of this. All right, so that's been our review for Universal Soldier Regeneration.
Regeneration.
Thanks for watching.